Hi folks, Heartmaker 44 here again. This is an impromptu setup to hopefully do some recording to demonstrate ferro rods and strikers. Again, this is a quick and dirty video. I'll probably do a better version later, but I want to get one out. Great Bear 1982 especially wanted to know what I've discovered about strikers for ferro rods. Okay, first of all, this is oh darn, I forget the name now. It's a magnesium striker that has a ferro rod built into it, Ferrocerium rod. It's worn down considerably. I don't know if you can see that or not. But what I wanted to show with this, if the camera will focus on it, and I can orient it so you can see it, from here on up, I've scratched it with a striker just several minutes ago. From here down, this has about 4 to 6 weeks of oxidation or corrosion, just atmospheric corrosion on it. And you can see it in, this is nice and bright, like silvery. This actually is slightly iridescent. It has some colors in it. Don't know how close I can get. Anyway, the point is that when you don't use a ferro rod for a while, you will have to scratch off like an oxide coating before you can make really good sparks with it. I'll just put these down here. I have this, I think it might be called a Doan striker or bar or something. I needed a new striker, so I went to a store that shall not be named. I'm kind of boycotting them at the moment. And I found this. This, if I remember rightly, retailed in my area for $12.99. It's the Swedish, is it marked? Firesteel, yeah. It's a 1/4 inch, roughly, and it comes with a little like paracord and a striker. Well, they had one cheaper. Oh dear. Again, I'm hazy on the name. I hate to get it wrong, but it's I read about this rod on the internet, and people say it's a bad rod, they don't like it, it doesn't spark, etc., etc. This one, I believe, is a 5/16 rod, and it's much longer than the Swedish Firesteel. Larger in diameter and longer. And it too comes with a little lanyard and a striker. Now this striker, the main striking area, has teeth on both sides. That's not good. It wears the rod way too much. It causes ruts in the rod. More on that later. And this is a 1/4 inch by what? Okay, hang on. I'm getting tired of guessing. This is a 3 inch steel, Firesteel, or Ferrocerium rod. That came directly from China. I got it off eBay. A whole $1.99. And I got it within about 2 weeks. 2 to 2.5 weeks from China. for $1.99. I mean, shipping included. Okay, if anything's going to be junk, it's going to be this one, right? Guess again. Which I will demonstrate. Okay. The length, effective length, is approximately 2 3/4 inches on the Swedish Firesteel. And, oops, sorry. Again, 3 inches. Here we go. Coglins. This is a Coglin fire starter. And they're fine, folks. They're just fine. Okay. Now, the first thing I did is I took the Coglins and used it striker. And what the heck? Man, I ain't getting... Oh, there's a little bit. What in the world's wrong? To make sure we're going where everything is on the same basis, let me get rid of the oxidation on this side. Off camera. You might hear the steel sparking. Okay. The does a little bit better job, but man, you know, not a whole lot of spark there. So I can see where people say, boy, that's junk. Swedish Firesteel. Again, let me get the oxide off. As a point of interest, it didn't spark well either with oxide on it. This comes with a striker that is much smaller. But does a better job, especially if you use the not the short end but the long end. I have this bit of junk plywood down to protect my table. Okay, but then I thought, hey, wait a minute. These feel different. These are stamped, and I'll almost guarantee you this is stainless steel. If you feel on the back end with your fingernail, if you have sensitive fingers, you can even feel it with the pad of your fingers. There's a burr back here. It's formed by the actual stamping process, where it's rounded on the top that gets stamped first, and it's rounded over, or has this burr on the bottom. That's standard for the stamping process. Turns out that's a good thing. You want that burr if you can get it. Here's the Coglins that didn't do much at all with the Coglin striker. Number one, there's a little bit of a burr, but it's not much. Here's the Coglin steel with the Swedish Firesteel striker. Don't know how much this camera's picking up. I hope it's showing something. Sparks are going down to my table. Okay, same thing, pretty much, as the Swedish Firesteel. There could be some differences, folks, but they're minor, in my opinion. Okay. Striker, the Swedish Firesteel striker with the Doan style. This came from Harbor Freight for all of, I think, $7, something like that. If it was on sale, it could have been less than that. It's doing good. Okay, cheap Okay, back again. Sorry folks, it seems that this camera has a limit on contiguous movies. So, oh well. Back to this thing. I'm almost certain this is stainless steel as well. And this is just as bought from the store. If this thing's like 20 years old. Let's take the Doan out. Swedish Firesteel. Nice bright sparks. Works great. If it works for one steel, it'll work with another one. With the 3-inch long 5/16, I'm getting even more sparks going down to the wood. Cheap Chinese rod. You can tell this is actually where it's burning. It does come off. So it surprised the heck out of me. Pardon my French. Next, I got a putty knife. The putty knife, it felt okay, the edge felt okay to my fingers, but it didn't do squat on the Firesteels. You can see some burn marks here that would come off. I lightly passed this edge through my sanding disc, or sanding belt, on my little 1x30 sander. I'll see. Yeah, this is the factory edge. Some sparks, but not much. Okay, after flattening this edge, you could do this with a file as well. Not half bad. Could be better. It's not bad. No sense in doing the other one. Then a pastry scraper. Okay, now I'm losing battery. Oh well, I'll make it fast. This is stainless steel. The edge turns out not to do a whole lot. It sparks, but not near as good as the 90-degree. You have to have a 90-degree edge on your steel, your striker. To sum all this up, while I still have some battery left, hacksaw blade. A hacksaw blade that is either worked with a file, or I love the 1x30 sander, belt sander. I recommend everybody get one. They're like 40 bucks from Harbor Freight. To put a 90-degree edge on this thing. It works a treat. You see them sparks? This is on the bad Coghlan steel, which turns out to be good. Swedish Firesteel. Cheap Chinese striker. So there you got it, folks. Just a simple hacksaw blade, and if you use a tooth side, grind the teeth off. Otherwise, you're going to put tire ruts in your steel. It's not going to wear evenly. You just don't need it. And they're cheap, ultra cheap. Okay, there we got it. Thanks for watching, folks. Catch you later.